Good morning, West Ham fans. This is Gary. This is the Bobby Moore stand. It finished last night, Chelsea 2, West Ham 1, and that's really all I want to talk about on this show today. I had a great night out. And I was pretty proud of what went on there. Before I go there, please could you subscribe to the channel if you watch us regularly. Hit the bell notification icon and give the video a like, please. Now, at the end of the game last night, we stood there. Like, not very many fans left, to be fair, at 90 minutes. We stood there waiting for the players. They were down the other end. Eventually, they came down to us, and they stood. It's very strange. They stood together in a group, not separated. Like subliminal messages here. They stood in a group still, and they stood there and clapped the fans next to each other in a group for about 2 minutes, and we clapped them right back. Absent from that was Graham Potter, who hid at the back. It was only when the fans started singing Graham Potter's Claret and Blue Army for the umpteenth time last night that he took any of the limelight, came forward and clapped the fans back, and it looked like he meant that clap as well, right? You know, sometimes it's just like, yeah, it weren't that, it weren't token. So it was a lovely thing to see because he puts the players forward ahead of himself. We're not going to see what we've seen in the past. It was unity between the fans and the players. The fans in the ground absolutely respected that effort that the bunch of players put in last night. That is 100% certain. I was sitting along. It's not just me. I was sitting alongside a guy called Jordan who watches the channel and his mate as well, whose name I didn't get. We were chatting all the way through. Again, we didn't really disagree on much. We were seeing the same game. When you look at there were points in that game, definitely points in that game where it could have swung the other way for sure. As you know, we're in the ground, so we don't know what's happened on VAR, but we suspected that something was up with that first goal, and disappointingly enough, because that's the last thing you want to bloody hear, is that we've been mugged off by VAR, and it sounds like an absolute mugging. And no doubt we'll get some sort of weak response from PG Mole later in the week saying, oh, it shouldn't have happened, goal shouldn't have been given. Of course it shouldn't have bloody been given. That is my one frustration with the game last night, is the referee was useless. Now, I don't usually tear into referees. I only do it when they're useless. He let so many things go right under his nose in Chelsea's favour that I lost count. Even the thing like where the guy got frustrated with the magnificent Andy Irving, shoved him in the chest and he ended up on his back right in front of the referee. The referee not only didn't book him for raising his hands, didn't even give a free kick, for Christ's sake, did it? I mean, it was just pathetic. Really, really pathetic. It was just, there was nothing. He made so many critical mistakes at points in the game where it gave a huge advantage to Chelsea. I don't know why we still have referees like that who are so incapable of getting it right and delivering a balanced game rather than giving a clear advantage to the home team or to the big team. Big, my arse. Look at their fucking fans. Their fans are an embarrassment. West Ham fans on the road, as you know, are magnificent. Last night was just wonderful. We had a decimated team out there. We had Andy Irving pretty much playing by default because we had no players left. But the thing is, and you listen afterwards, I listened to his interview. Fucking hell, it was heartwarming. It was heartwarming. And I said this a little while ago, when he scored that goal in the summer against Dagenham and Redbridge, he looked like afterwards he was so happy, so surprised to be playing for West Ham. But when you listen to his story about how his girlfriend, she's a school teacher, and she was umming and ahhing about whether to come down to London to get a job because didn't know how long he'd be here, but she had faith in him that he was going to stay here for at least a season, and she's come down and got a job as a teacher in Tower Hamlets. That's amazing, isn't it? That's absolutely amazing. Hopefully she'll get paid back, and she should, because last night he didn't look out of place in that team. He's clearly a Premier League standard player without a shadow of a doubt. He probably found out he was playing just before kickoff when Potter got another kick in the nuts with Alvarez not being available. I mean, Alvarez has been amazing the last game or two. Amazing, back to his best. And yet he goes missing. Paqueta was injured already, as we know. Bowen, first game back from injury. How bloody good was he? Somerville's still not fit. Tadebo's still not fit. He's forced to play with two players who had previously just been cast off as finished, and we all thought it, and that's Soufal and Cresswell. But he's put them in a system where he's not exposing them for pace. He's not getting them to cover big lumps of the pitch. He's putting them in positions where he knows they can cope alongside Kilman, and that helps Kilman as well. Another great game from him, I thought. It was, the way we lost that was just so, it was one of those things where it was, if it was, no matter what we did, we were going to lose that game. The way their second goal went in was just, it was ridiculous. I mean, what a fluke. What an utter fluke. That never goes in. The first one, referee assisted in my eyes. So we got mugged. We deserved at least a point. I'm not saying we deserved to win, but we could have won. You know, if you look at Kudus's header off the post, it is the last person you want to have to head the ball. But even then, that was a point blank effort, and he's got to hit the target from there, and you would expect him to. But I ain't going to have a go at Kudus, because I was in the ground. I read some things on X last night, which is just, I don't know how people, what they see when they watch a game of football. But I think they just see goal scoring opportunities. I don't think they watch the rest of the game, because Kudus, in the round, he delivered a very, very committed, strong performance, which was the only thing that was really wrong with it was that, you know, he got a shot blocked at the end there, which could have gone in. He had a really hard shot early on as well. I mean, that's how to take a shot, Mavropanos. But most importantly was in that decimated team where we played a compact system that was so disciplined, more disciplined than any bloody David Moyes setup, right? It was, you know, it was really, really nice to see. You could see they were working under instructions. They knew exactly what to do, who was taking what player. The communication on the pitch was second to none. And Kudus, he played a pivotal role in them not exposing us. And I'll tell you what he did. Yeah, he was playing the number 10 role, but his main job was to hunt a space in the middle of the pitch. And he was doing it whether we were going forward, pushing up, or whether we were pulling back. The amount of work Kudus got through, shutting down space, denying space in the middle of the pitch was incredible. He never stopped running. So for someone to say, oh, he's playing rubbish, he's not playing rubbish. He's doing the job he's been told to do. Grow up, right? So I'm not going to have, with one exception, I'm not going to have anything bad to say about those players last night, because I thought, to a man, they gave it everything they had. And I was a bit worried, because when you've got Cresswell and Soufal in the team, and a few others, you're sort of thinking, Andy Irving, for instance, he's never played a game at that pace. And he admitted that after the game. And so inside my head, I'm thinking 70 minutes-ish, they're going to start running out of gas. And that's exactly what happened. It ain't the fault of the players. And he had to bring some fresh players on and freshen it up. I even saw somebody on Twitter having a go at one of the kids last night. I was thinking, are you really a West Ham fan? I mean, well, you know, if you went to that game, even if you watched it at home, literally this is the first time in a long time where what's being said in the ground is very similar to the way the people at home read the game. Everyone seemed to be happy and impressed with what was put on there. He took a decimated group of players. For the umpteenth game running, he took a decimated group of players and he made them into an organised system. He created a system that could use those players. This wasn't a Moyes system where it'd be a 4-2-3-1 with people prized into the system, or a Lopetegui system where we would have got absolutely slaughtered. I mean, what did you expect to do? What would anyone expect to do with that set of players other than compete? And that is exactly what we did. We competed. We more than competed. I was so proud of those boys last night, because, I mean, frankly, that is all I want. I want West Ham to be competitive in any way we can be, given the players we've got at the time. When we've got all of our players back, and he's been for a transfer window in a pre-season, you know, you might expect us to have more cohesivity, you know, up front to be able to a bit more. How can I say? Be a bit more clinical, a bit more clinical with the attacks that we launch. But at the same time, we've got a player just coming back from injury who was being targeted by Chelsea. You got Kudus who's being targeted by Chelsea. Whenever he got into an attacking position, this is a problem we got at the moment with him. He'll get 2 players in his face, 3 players in his face. They did it again last night. It's being done every week. Now that won't stop until we've got more options on the pitch, so they don't have to only focus on him, because that's what they're doing at the moment. I mean, they focused on him so much that Jared Bowen got a fair bit of freedom last night. But that'll happen more and more. That'll happen more and more as time goes on. And and hopefully we'll get back to the situation where where a team can't spare 2 or 3 players focused on Kudus. All right, but let me know in the comments what you thought of the game. But I was amazed. I was absolutely amazed that we could put together a performance like that, and proud as well. Proud. That is usually a game we go to. I went there last year. We were 4 or 5-0 down at half time. Earlier in the season, the game was over by half time. And that was all that Palmer's fault, right? Palmer is a good player. He always tears us a new one. Jackson didn't get a look in hardly. I mean, he had that shot early on, but he was getting snuffed. He was getting snuffed out. There was a time up until about 65 minutes, 70 minutes in the second half, where they couldn't get near us. They were literally they were so frustrated that they were launching long shots. There were a few. Let's mention the outstanding save by Areola, because it really was an outstanding save. Great free kick from Palmer. But he's going to do that 9 out of 10 times. He gets it on target. He's that kind of player. But let's talk about Andy Irving again. The fans in that ground last night, they did what they did with David Martin a few years ago, which was sing his name pretty much for the whole 90 minutes, just to show him that they got his back. And he was hearing it as well. It's the sort of thing that makes the hairs on your neck, the back of your neck stand up, So many songs to remember. They rebranded the Christian Daily song, Love of My Life. Andy Irving is Coming for You. There were about 6 different songs that they were singing to Andy Irving. Oh, what was the one about Palmer as well, when he shot over the top? You're just a shit, Andy Irving. Oh, brilliant. There was even a really childish one, which I found funny. I can't remember the exact words, but it's like, you're not playing because you're shit. And that was at the subs who were warming up right in front of us. I mean, I know it's childish, but I found it really comical. The fans last night were amazing. The players were amazing. And I'm a very, very happy West Ham fan today. I think on the way back, I do what I generally do. Once because it was a good day. We went to Mansion House on the way, met up with a load of really nice people in a pub there, and Danny, Charlie's girlfriend, Johnny, various others. And then on the way back, me, Chris, Freddie, and Danny, we went on the tube all the way back to Mile End, and we chatted. We all saw the game the same way as well. So it's funny when I finally got to the other end and I put the phone on in the car and thought I'd listen to our other channels saw it. Listen to Gio. Always listen to Gio. He got it absolutely bang on last night, to be honest. Gonzo did as well. So I thought, oh, it's looking good. Listen to Stel. He was just walking away from the game like I was. Saw it the same way. Yeah, with one exception. I ain't going to mention who it is. I think you know. But a certain person has been looking for a negative narrative on the manager for a couple of days and said that we played a low block yesterday. I mean, yeah, it was quite defensive, but that ain't a low block. A low block to me is defend for your lives and invite the other team onto you and let them have as many shots as they want. We'll just stop them and hopefully we'll get a counter-attacking goal. Nah, that ain't the way that game went. I haven't even mentioned the Jared Bowen goal, by the way, which was such a cool, clinical take by a player who was just magnificent the whole night, my man of the match. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Every player was good. Jared was just a little bit above. And the Chelsea players, they were scared of him. They were scared of him. It's good to see. What a cool finish from that man. Welcome back, Mr. Captain. Now, yeah, if you're going to create a narrative already a negative narrative around Potter already, trying to allude to the fact that he is in somehow responsible for, the club not bringing players in. And you're going to align him in people's minds to David Moyes. He'd be differing next one, he'd be differing, right? If you're going to do that, I've got to ask you, what are your priorities? Are they West Ham or are they you and views? Anyway, that's all I've got to say on that. Honestly, can't believe I can't believe that. I can't believe that. But all in all, we deserve more. A great night out with great West Ham fans, and I can't wait to the next game. Every game is a nice surprise at the moment. Apart from Palace, every game I've been to under Potter has been a nice surprise and a great committed performance. And I really look forward to what we can see after 2 weeks, when, who knows, you might actually see Evan Ferguson, who's not fit at the moment, might actually see suddenly Evan Ferguson after a fortnight's training. He might be in the team. He might be able to start. You might see Tadibo back. I think you will. You see Somerville back as well. You see a lot of options. I think Paqueta might even be back. Suddenly, for the first time, Graham Potter would have a selection problem. Well, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be lovely? But in the meantime, I think that is that's a really good, that it wasn't the right result, but it was a really good performance, and I'm happy, and so are most people. And so let's leave that on a positive note. I'm really looking forward, and I'm enjoying this ride with Graham Potter so far. He puts a team out on the pitch, no matter what players he's got. He puts a team out on the pitch to make West Ham competitive, and that's all I want. I want West Ham to be competitive. I don't want to get rumped every week. I really don't. We are West Ham. We're West Ham. We've got to do things slightly differently. We're not a big club who've got unlimited funds and a good owner. We're not. We're West Ham, and I think Graham Potter is perfectly suited for West Ham. And I'm not going to stop saying it, because I don't see anything that contradicts that belief. All right, so anyway, I hope you enjoy your Tuesday. I've got a week off, so I'm not going to work. Might even have a shower in a minute, you never know. At least I got up early. See you soon. Oh, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, another reminder, please could you subscribe? Hit the bell notification icon and give the video a like. Until next time, see you soon. Chiaman Joins.